Fuck it! Let's give the people what they came for!
Let's fucking go.
Newcastle United are under pressure after a defeat against West Ham in the Premier League. So from revealing the secret details behind Newcastle United being handed a massive £35 million cash boost, to unveiling the Sky Sports transfer exclusive regarding Newcastle's January transfer plan, to breaking down the hidden truth behind what really happened in the game against West Ham. Plus, we'll also uncover the massive update regarding Bruno Guimarães and Joe Willock's injuries ahead of a Sunday's trip to Crystal Palace that is seen as must-win. As per, join us as we break it all down.
Let's go!
Starting off with the real missing glue. While there has been considerable praise for West Ham's performance, they had minimal impact in terms of goal probability, with each goal having just a 7% chance of scoring. In contrast, Newcastle's attack revealed deeper issues that went unnoticed. Despite posting an impressive expected threat momentum of 1.91 compared to West Ham's 0.57, Newcastle failed to convert an XG of over 1.69, managing 35 touches in the opposition box, 18 shots, and just 2 on target. This match highlighted our ongoing struggles with central play. Longstaff and Willock received ratings of 6.7 in the match, with only 1 successful dribble and 0 key passes combined. While Willock is effective as a runner, particularly in transition, he struggles against low blocks where space is limited. In the game, he actually only had 9 accurate passes. As Longstaff's winning streak ended, it served as a reminder of the limitations of their profiles when facing lower-tier teams. Longstaff may be suited for away games against combative teams like Nottingham Forest, but at home against a side determined to play a low block and counter-attack, inventiveness and quality are essential to unlock the opposition's defense. The fact that Longstaff failed to complete a single key pass despite leaving the field with a 91% pass success rate. What does that tell us? Well, considering that his 32 touches were less than that of Nick Pope, it would appear that the 27-year-old failed to assert himself and take control of proceedings. The midfield trio was chaotic throughout the evening, often overrun on counterattacks by West Ham. Too many midfielders were swapping positions, leading to ineffectiveness from Gordon, Willock, and Joelinton. Even in the first half, when Newcastle appeared dominant, there was a clear lack of technical quality from Longstaff, Willock, and Joelinton, who frequently missed opportunities to capitalize on the space they were afforded. With equal ball control against a struggling West Ham side, it felt like Newcastle United beat themselves with a toothless midfield display. Ultimately, more central threat is needed. Newcastle requires a player who can collect the ball, spin past defenders, and create shots or passes, something they currently lack. They need someone who can operate centrally and break through defenses. This area, known as Zone 14, is crucial, yet Newcastle is averaging only 2.28 Zone 14 passes per game this season, significantly lower than teams like Leicester City, West Ham, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, and Crystal Palace. The predictability in Newcastle's attack has undoubtedly increased. Shots, passes into the box, progressive passes, attacking final third passes reveal a tendency to pass sideways, reminiscent of their approach against Arsenal in the absence of Martin Odegaard. They often played wide, setting up fullbacks for clipped crosses to the back post. Many feel that a spark or game changer is needed to break down a stubborn low block, and some believe that Sandro Tonali could provide that from the bench. However, Tonali is not the answer. He lacks the profile of a pure creative midfielder. While technically skilled, he is more of a runner and duel winner, similar to what Mourinho offers Arsenal. That's why when Tonali entered the match as a substitute, he kept the midfield tidy but struggled to create real openings, because he does not fit the profile of a pure number 8 or 10 creator, which the team needs alongside him. Against West Ham, Newcastle had a 4.49 ball progression in Zone 14, their second lowest area of ball control. The team truly misses a creative number 8 or 10 who possesses the ability to operate on the half-turn, pause, and deliver a final pass. This profile is difficult to integrate into their current structure, but that's what Maddison was expected to provide, a player to lead final third interplay. So there's no denying that Newcastle United can rise to the occasion in the big games, having achieved notable victories against Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea, and Arsenal, as well as securing a point against Manchester City this season. However, the Magpies are struggling against teams perceived as lesser, which is proving to be a significant issue. In their matches against West Ham, Brighton and Hove Albion, Fulham, Everton and AFC Bournemouth, Newcastle has managed to collect just 2 points and scored only 2 goals. This lack of offensive output is a concerning trend, placing them among the lowest scorers in the league, with only Southampton, Everton and Crystal Palace having fewer goals this term. A recurring theme appears when teams, particularly at St James's Park, allow Newcastle to have the majority of possession. The squad often seems at a loss for how to break down defenses, leading to a lack of creativity and effectiveness in their attacking play. This issue has been long-standing, and unless a solution is found, the team will likely continue to face inconsistent results. Such inconsistency could severely hinder their aspirations for European competition come May. So, as we approach January, while many are calling for a right winger, and some for a centre-back, it might be more beneficial for Newcastle to prioritise a pure midfield creator, who can collect the ball, spin past defenders, and create shots or passes, something they currently lack. If Newcastle were to pursue such a profile, who do you think would be the perfect signing for that position? Then the second thing we learned was the Lloyd Kelly opportunity, as Eddie Howe made the decision to include him in the starting 11 in the absence of Dan Burn, who was serving a one-match suspension after accumulating 5 yellow cards. This was a pivotal moment for Kelly, especially after his strong performance alongside Fabian Schär in the Carabao Cup victory against Chelsea, where he demonstrated his capabilities as a centre-back. However, the match against West Ham proved to be a challenging one for the 26-year-old. Kelly found himself caught in difficult positions, notably when Tomáš Souček scored the opening goal. For the second goal, he appeared to give Aaron Wan-Bissaka too much space, allowing the right back to fire a shot past goalkeeper Nick Pope.
Sort of stood still.
Yeah, I mean, I think for both goals, we'll look back and know we made individual mistakes. We can't give a player of Souček's aerial ability that space in the box. Disappointing from our perspective.
Throughout the game, Kelly seemed to be a step behind in his decision-making and positioning, which was unfortunate given this was his opportunity to make a case for a regular starting spot. Despite these setbacks, it's important to recognize that he showed promise in the first half, particularly in his physical encounters with West Ham's Michail Antonio. He held his ground well and demonstrated his ability to compete physically, which is a crucial aspect of playing at this level. Having a 7.2 match rating, 1 clearance, 2 blocked shots, 3 tackles, 0 times dribbled past, 1 last man tackle, 4 out of 5 ground duels won and 2 out of 2 aerial duels won. While the mistakes made during the match might overshadow his overall performance, they shouldn't completely detract from the positive contributions he made. Unfortunately, with Dan Burn expected to return for the upcoming match against Crystal Palace, Kelly may find himself back on the bench. However, this experience could serve as a valuable learning opportunity for him, and if he continues to work on his positioning and awareness, he may well earn more chances in the future. In the forwards line, Newcastle United's attacking struggles this season have become increasingly concerning, particularly at St James's Park, where the team has managed to score just 5 goals in 6 home games. This statistic places them near the bottom of the league in terms of home scoring, with only Crystal Palace faring worse with 3 goals. This decline is particularly alarming given that last season, Newcastle set a Premier League record for goals scored, with players like Anthony Gordon and Alexander Isak playing pivotal roles in that success. In the recent match against West Ham, Anthony Gordon had a notably poor performance with a 6.5 match rating. Once a standout player for Newcastle, he has not looked like the same force this season. While he attempted to initiate pressing early in the game, he lacked conviction with the ball and missed a crucial opportunity that could have equalized the score at 1-1 in the first half. Alexander Isak, with a 6.7 match rating, initially made a lively impression, scoring a goal that was unfortunately disallowed for offside. After that promising start, however, he found himself limited by a lack of quality service from his teammates. Despite his efforts, 6 shots, which were the most of any player in the match, Isak was unable to make a significant impact on the game, which was disappointing given the pre-match excitement generated by the display from War Flags. The tribute from War Flags highlighted his importance to the club, but the performance on the pitch, despite having the highest XG, did not reflect that sentiment, as Newcastle ultimately lost 2-0 to West Ham. He, however, felt the love from the Toon army, and thanked everyone involved via his official Instagram account, writing, "Very disappointing result last night. However, I want to take my time to thank War Flags and the fan base for this incredible experience walking onto the pitch and see this. Truly overwhelming and a moment I will never forget. We go again on Saturday." Then moving on to the injury updates. So after a disappointing evening at St. James's Park, Newcastle United's focus has shifted to the fitness of key players Bruno Guimarães and Joe Willock, both of whom were forced to leave the pitch during the match. Willock's exit was the result of a seemingly minor clash with teammate Sean Longstaff while defending against Carlos Soler in the first half. Although it appeared to be a minor incident, it ultimately compelled Willock to depart the game, raising concerns about his condition. Guimarães, meanwhile, indicated a need for substitution toward the end of the match, leaving the field as the team faced an uphill battle. Heading into the match, Bruno Guimarães had won more fouls, 45, and covered more ground, 122.8 kilometers, than any other player in the Premier League this season. He was also the highest in percentage of passes made forward by midfielders in the Premier League this season. In the match, he was actually Newcastle creator, having a 7.4 match rating, 74 touches, 53 out of 59 accurate passes, meaning a 90% passing accuracy, 4 key passes, 1 out of 1 accurate crosses, 1 out of 1 accurate long balls, 1 big chance created, 1 out of 1 successful dribble, and 4 duels won. Following the match, Guimarães took to social media to express his disappointment and injury worries, stating, "A night to forget," and adding, "I hope the injury isn't too serious. Thank you for the support, Newcastle fans." His words reflect not only his concern for his fitness, but also his appreciation for the unwavering support from the fan base. Manager Eddie Howe provided an update on the injuries during his post-match comments. He explained, "Joe took a knock to part of his leg and didn't feel 100% at halftime. Bruno felt a glute, I believe, but hopefully they're not big problems." On a good note, before kickoff, Newcastle received a boost with the return of Kieran Trippier and Callum Wilson to the matchday squad. Wilson's appearance marked his first of the season, as he came on with 20 minutes remaining. He nearly won a penalty after a tangle with Konstantinos Mavropanos, which would have been a significant moment had the match unfolded differently. Trippier, who had last featured for the club in early October due to a hamstring injury, was also back in action and had the responsibility of introducing Guimarães as he trudged off the pitch late in the game. The upcoming fixtures will test the depth of the squad, and Howe will undoubtedly be keen to ensure that his key players are fit and ready for the challenges ahead. Then moving on to Newcastle's major cash injection. So Newcastle United has received a significant cash injection from its owners, the Public Investment Fund, PIF, as part of their ongoing commitment to the club's long-term development. It has been just over 3 years since PIF completed their takeover, and they continue to invest in Newcastle despite the financial constraints imposed by the Premier League's Profit and Sustainability Rules, PSR. A recent filing with Companies House revealed that Newcastle United's owners have issued 1 new share, resulting in a £35 million boost for the club. Football finance expert Kieran Maguire highlighted this development on social media, noting the significance of the share issue. It remains unclear whether this investment is in the form of new cash or a conversion of existing debt into equity. This isn't the first time Newcastle's ownership has issued new shares to infuse capital into the club. Finance expert Adam Williams provided insights into the implications of this latest investment. He explained that share issues are typically used to restructure ownership or provide working capital, with this instance leaning towards the latter. According to Williams, the timing of the cash injection is crucial. With season ticket revenue already in the bank and the next tranche of Premier League payments still some time away, clubs often rely on such share issues to cover wages and other operational costs during leaner periods. The holiday season may also not yet have generated significant merchandise sales, adding to the need for immediate cash flow. Since the takeover, Newcastle's owners have injected a total of £337.9 million through this method. Unlike soft loans, which are interest-free loans expected to be repaid, these share issues represent funds that the owners do not seek to recover. This distinction is important, especially in light of ongoing scrutiny surrounding soft loans, following Manchester City's challenges to the PSR rules. In conclusion, while Newcastle United faces challenges under PSR, the recent cash injection signifies their commitment to the club's future. As the landscape of football finance evolves, Newcastle may find itself better positioned to navigate these complexities with continued support from its owners. However, more importantly, what's the major update regarding Newcastle's transfer plans heading into January? So, in a recent development, according to Sky Sports, Newcastle United has expressed interest in Bournemouth winger Antoine Semenyo as they prepare for the January transfer window. The 24-year-old Ghanaian has been in impressive form on the South Coast, contributing 4 goals and an assist this season under manager Andoni Iraola. His dynamic playing style and ability to operate effectively on both wings make him an attractive option for Newcastle, who have been looking to bolster their right-wing position for some time. However, there is a catch regarding Newcastle's potential move for Semenyo. The club faces challenges related to profit and sustainability regulations, PSR, which may complicate any new signings. Sky Sports News suggests that Newcastle is unlikely to bring in fresh talent in January unless they first offload some players. This cautious approach stems from a desire to avoid entering the summer transfer window in a position where sales are essential. With this in mind, the club's focus may shift toward identifying fringe players who could be moved on this winter. Miguel Almiron has been tipped for a departure, and there are decisions to be made regarding Callum Wilson, who is approaching the final 6 months of his contract. Other players facing uncertain futures include Martin Dubravka, Matt Targett, and Kieran Trippier. If Newcastle can navigate these challenges and clear some space in the squad, Semenyo would be a compelling addition. His two-footedness and proven Premier League experience would enhance the right side of Newcastle's attack, making them a more formidable force. However, given his strong start to the season at Bournemouth, acquiring him may not come cheap. As the January window approaches, Newcastle fans will be keen to see how the club maneuvers within the constraints of PSR, while also seeking to strengthen the squad for the second half of the season. However, this reported situation of needing to sell before signing raises the question of what happened to the £70 million from the Guehi deal that was not used last transfer window. Luckily, in a significant development that will change Newcastle's future, Eddie Howe has revealed all the secret details behind the money. If you would like to know more about it, click the video link on screen now.